I mean, imagine you have a global high performance pool of coaches and knowledge sharing people and experts within 24/7 reachability.
Welcome to the Voice of Visma podcast, where we sit down with the business builders, entrepreneurs and innovators across Visma, adding their perspectives on how they scale companies, reshape industries and create real customer value across markets.
Hello and welcome back to the Voice of Visma podcast. My name is Philip Mats and I'm happy to be your host. On this episode, we're talking all about leadership, entrepreneurship, and what it's like to run a company in Visma. I'm joined today with Maxin Schneider from Buchhaltungsbutler. Really nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Super happy to be here.
So, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into contact with Buchhaltungsbutler?
Yeah. So I think to put it in a nutshell, I would describe myself as high energy. I'm super curious about trying new things, with a slight sweet spot for cheesecake, waves, vinyl. So that's my personal side. On the business side, I used to work for a startup. That was my first job, and I joined a founder who was not able to scale the business. So he asked me if I can help him, and we did scale it to 1 million in shorter time than 1 year. And that's how I started my freelance business then out of this, because I saw the needs in the market to help people scale their business. And that's what I did the last 7 years, I guess. Being a freelancer for data-driven growth marketing. And that's how I joined BHB 3 years ago as a freelancer.
So everyone we have on the podcast are unique stories and they have their own way of finding their business or maybe joining a business. But for you, it's really unique, sort of going from being a freelancer to then joining a tech company as a managing director from day one. Can you tell us a little bit about how that happened?
Yeah, definitely unique. Some call it unique. Some call it, why did this happen? So it definitely was not like a straightforward road. If people ask me, I would describe it more like a bumpy speed highway, maybe. How did this happen? So as I said, I was working for BHB during the acquisition of Visma as growth marketing freelancer. Things work really well, as we can see now. So we are part of the Visma family, and the founders decided to leave, and we're looking for someone who they can hand over the business to that they trust, actually. So trust was really, really important for them. And then on the other side, Visma was looking for someone who is embracing a transformation phase. And that's me, basically, because I always thrive for challenges, maybe even challenges that are a bit too big for me. And then here I am. So I think it was a combination of knowing the founders. I knew the team, and I have this unlimited ambition of growth, and I think that was the perfect fit for this bumpy road of transformation.
Yeah, and what would you say, what were your first impressions of the business when you came in as a freelancer? What did you think of the product and the company?
Yeah, so I think I would describe it as like this hidden cathedral kind of thing. Side note, I really love to speak in metaphors, so maybe this will be part of this podcast.
Good. We like that too.
Okay, perfect. So imagine you have like this building, and you see it, and you're kind of like, oh, maybe there's something beautiful inside. So you're like, oh, this looks promising. Let's go inside and find out. And then you enter this building, and this architecture is like breathtaking. So you're inside, and you're like, oh wow. Maybe some lighting missing here and there. So you're like, oh, this could be more visible, So kind of like this story. So this was my first impression. So the business was super stable, fantastic customer base, a lot of amazing feedback. The team, some parts of the team, being part of BHB for 8 years, 9 years. And then having a product which is super solid, a lot of functionalities, but a bit like an introvert person. So amazing at what they do, but a bit too shy to show it. So that was my impression. And I thought, okay, I'm going to help BHB be more visible and show it and move a bit away from this feature approach more to value proposition approach. Because I used to work with, to be honest, shitty products in the past that I tried to sell and was able to sell. And now having an amazing product, let's go.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Yeah.
And do you remember how the opportunity came to be? Sort of how were you approached to then join as managing director?
So Max, the former, one of the founders and former MD, asked me what my plan for the future is, and I was like, plan for the future? I go with the flow. I don't know. I love my job. I love what I do. So I'm just going to continue doing it. And then he was a bit like sneaky, but in the end, he did an amazing job because he was like, yeah, but your potential is amazing. And is this really the setting where you can unfold your potential? And I thought, I don't know, maybe not. And then his value proposition came in and he was like, yeah, I have the perfect opportunity for you to unfold your potential. And then he proposed this job to me and I said no. So my first reaction was no, because in my mind it was just, okay, I'm happy with the status quo. Why should I change something? And then he asked me again. And then my mindset shifted because, to be honest, I was not 100% happy because I get easily bored. And doing the same as a freelancer again and again for 7 years sometimes can feel boring. And then I said, hell yes. Let's do this. If you trust me, if Visma sees my potential, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and look where we'd end up.
Yes.
Huge growth,
yes.
Amazing company, and as you said, sort of showing how amazing that company was.
Yeah.
But going from sort of a freelancer where you're your own boss, you have sort of, at least you put yourself first to some extent, and then you're joining a company, and now all of a sudden you have responsibility not only for yourself but for this team of people and for the product. How does that sort of change your mindset or how you go about doing the job?
So actually it did not really change my mindset, but I needed to adapt a lot because yes, being a freelancer, just being responsible for my own makes the world we live in easier. If you have 24 people around you looking up to you, kind of, you're also responsible for them, for their agility, for their needs. So it was in the beginning hard for me to adapt. But actually, I could transition some of my learnings from a freelancer being to my leadership being. So it's kind of this, same but different. Let's call it like this.
Yeah, and it's also going from being a freelancer to joining this company of 15, 20, 25 people, but also becoming closer to Visma and that network. How was that feeling?
To be honest, I am not sure if I could do the job the way I do without Visma. I mean, I could, but to have this, I mean, imagine you have a global high performance pool of coaches and knowledge sharing people and experts within 24/7 reachability. You can access them the whole time. And we support each other. Everyone supports each other. So I think this, empowers me and enables me to do this job. Because in Visma, at least for me, it was not about experience. So I did not have experience in being a managing director, but it was about potential. And Visma definitely values this, bold, ambitious growth mindset. And this is the perfect match in the end. So it's really about enabling execution, trusting in potential, and in me being a young female leader. So great.
And also that time for the company with sort of founders leaving and going into this phase of transformation. What's the first step? That seems like such a huge challenge, and of course, being ambitious and wanting to see the growth. Where did you start? What's the first step?
Yeah, It definitely was a challenge because this transformational time is such an emotional phase for the team. And to be fully transparent, I was not aware of this. I just realized it a few months ago because I thought being like ambitious, seeing how the business is going, I thought, okay, perfect, let's push. So my mindset was, okay, let's grow and push. But in the end, it was more about finding rhythm, creating clarity and trust. And in the end, I was not able to do this because I thought, okay, why are we not able to push? Just push. But it was more about, building a foundation, actually. So honoring the legacy. Then it was about, identifying like these structural bottlenecks that we have in the transition phase. And now I could start slowly like injecting this growth DNA and slowly sailing out of the transition phase. But in the end, I was totally naive to think we can just continue growing.
So what would be your number one piece of advice for someone coming into a leadership role? And so again, with this perspective of being a freelancer and then going into having this big responsibility, what would be your tip to someone maybe in their first leadership position?
Yeah, so I think for advice, it's maybe a bit too early in my own journey, but I'm happy to share some learnings, let's say. One of my biggest learnings is that we need to embrace the power of delegation, actually, because it's not dumping work. That's what I thought before. If I delegate things that I do not want to do or that I do not have time to do, I just dump work. But in the end, right now, I see it's about, like transferring ownership and trust and enabling people to do their job and to be actually better than me. And then my second learning was definitely, I thought I'm going to need to have all the answers. So I deep dived into every piece of the business. But in the end, it's not about having all the answers. But now I need to ask the right questions and surround myself with the people that are better than me in their field. So this is the second learning that I definitely had. And the third learning is it's not about managing my time. It's about managing my energy, because this really impacts people. And I think as a leader, we need to be fully aware of this. We cannot be in this hustle mode all the time because people notice. So you need to manage your energy. You need to take care of yourself and lead by example. Yes, put in the hard work if needed. But other than this, try to be resistant. Try to bring maybe even a bit, sense of humor to the table. It's not all, the world is super serious anyway. So let's just try to have fun at work.
Yeah, just because it's business doesn't mean it has to be boring.
Yes,
yeah, that's true.
No,
and that's interesting to me. Sort of what parts of the job gives you energy, and what sort of outside of work gives you the energy to keep pushing and growing.
Yeah. So at work, it definitely gives me the most energy ever to see people flourish. So to see people unfolding their potential makes me super, super, super happy, because I know how this feels myself. I had people along my journey supporting me and believing in my potential, and this felt amazing to see, oh, I can really do this. And me now being able to also empower people to unfold their potential, this makes me super, super happy. Then to spice up the, let's call it, rather conservative accounting bubble in Germany also makes me super happy. And in my private life, so I do sports a lot. I meditate every morning. Sounds like a cliche, but in the end, being high energetic person, you need to calm yourself a bit down. So to start the day with calmness, silence, this is for me the number one energy topic, I would say. Yeah.
And you mentioned that sort of being a little bit of a rebel in the German market. I would like to talk a little bit about that as well. You said your first impressions of Buchhaltungsbutler was this sort of hidden cathedral. And then, maybe Germany as a market, it's huge. Lots of small businesses and freelancers like you used to be. But still, maybe a little bit of a sleeping giant. how do you go about sort of from the perspective of BHB to sort of capture that market and go ahead and be that rebel?
Yeah, definitely. Like sleeping giant is a pretty good description of the metaphor. Here we go. And I think it is slowly waking up. But this shift that is happening in Germany right now is huge. Because in the past, so in Germany and especially in this accounting and tax bubble, let's call it, it was all about like reliance, security, compliance. So a lot about like the traditional things. This is how we did it in the past. So this is how we do it in the future also. But now with like rising e-commerce businesses, digital services, young entrepreneurs entering the market, the demand is shifting right now. So it's more about ease of use and automation. But this combined with this administrative burden that we have in Germany, demands a shift in the market. And I think when we talk about winning the market in Germany, it will be about providing digital solutions, but it will especially be about automating along the customer journey and seamlessly integrating it into the customer journey. So make it as easy as possible and reduce the friction that we have in Germany. And be patient, because the right timing will also be a key point in winning the market.
So what would you say are the forces driving it? Is it the new technology? Like speaking about artificial intelligence, is that something that you see is the thing waking up the giant, or what are the forces behind it?
Yeah, I think the forces behind it are the people, actually. And yes, AI is a part of it, because people realize, okay, I do not have to do repetitive work. And I can also scale a business without a lot of investment, because I can keep my team size small and I can do it on my own. So when we talk about Buchhaltungsbutler, we have a lot of our customers do not have an accountant doing their bookkeeping, but they do it on their own with BHB. So with tools like BHB and also with AI, you are able to scale a business not 100% on your own, depending on the size and the growth. But you can start this. So I think this is driving this shift and this change, that people see the potential, but also see the need, okay, but then we need automation and we need integration. And we need to get rid of this conservative, traditional things that are slowing us down. Because when you look at Europe, other countries, they are faster than we are, and Germany's lagging a bit behind, but being a big market. So I think people wake up and see this potential and see like, oh, but we have the money, we have the infrastructure, we have the smart people in this country. Why do we not drive this innovation? Yeah.
Is that also the message that you communicate internally to the team? Is that the feeling you are the rebels, we are the one who are going to make the market change? Or what's sort of the internal story?
Yeah, the internal story is definitely this. Maybe not the rebel, but definitely leading in this transformation. So I do communicate with the team that we have this unique position right now in catching this big wave. Again, speaking of metaphors, and me love surfing. So we are in the right position to catch this wave, and I do communicate that we want to build this future. So I would love to move away from this dreaded chore in accounting more. Yeah, in the end, accounting can be a seamless function of growth. And I think this is the key point, and we need to understand this.
Yeah. And talking about that growth, Germany, huge market. And of course, you have some Visma siblings, other companies in the market. How do you cooperate with them or work with them? Because again, hidden cathedral, big market, huge city in that metaphor. There's of course room to cooperate as well.
Yeah, 100%. So it's all about collaboration with our sibling companies in the DACH region. So what we do is we share knowledge. definitely. We have a Slack channel with all the MDs, and we are definitely sharing a lot challenges, asking questions, because only if you entered a problem or a certain phase for the first time does not mean that there's not a solution right there. So I'm pretty sure someone else already experienced exactly the same or something similar. So we definitely ask a lot for advice. And then the beauty will be to integrate all those tools along the customer journey. So this is what we do and what we will do in the future. So to connect these tools to make our customers the center of our strategy and of our being. This will be about collaboration and communication along the way.
Yeah. And I really like what you said, that maybe what's actually driving the change in the market is maybe not the technology or the regulation, but the people behind it. It's the young entrepreneurs, just like yourself, that are driving the change. Is that something that you feel impacts the way you lead the company, that you've actually been part of that? I would imagine you want digital tools when you were a freelancer to do everything efficiently and to grow and to scale. Is that are you the one closest to the customer in that sense?
I am close to the customer, definitely, but I think we have in Buchhaltungsbutler the beauty of people being even closer to the customer, because we have a really amazing customer success team who is in personal relationship with a lot of our customers, especially long-term customers. So this helps me also a lot. But yes, you are right. Me coming from this position myself, I know that people value what we do and value our product. So yes, I'm kind of building this product and this company also for myself, because I know how this feels to be in the middle of German compliance and legislations and like this complexity of year-end closing, and where you need a tax advisor in Germany and you still want to be agile and do things on your own. So this can be overwhelming. So yes, I know this feeling of being overwhelmed and being stuck. And I want to build this bridge into being more at ease with all these processes with BHP.
Yeah. And looking forward, say, 10 years into the future, what will the German accounting market look like? Will we still be seeing a lot of tax advisors? Will they be AI agents? Will it be totally different? What would you say?
I don't think it will be all AI, at least not in Germany. The position of a tax advisor in Germany, like at the moment, it's huge. But also in the future, I think they will be a key player. So that's important for me, that we with BHP do not want to replace a tax advisor, but we want to empower them. But yes, in the future, I think it will less be about actions and automating certain steps. It will more be about communication and having an agent supporting you. So I think the way of working for entrepreneurs and tax advisors will change, definitely, but they will need to communicate. And I think in the future, it is important that we have tools like Buchhaltungsbutler to reduce this friction point. So this partnership between entrepreneur and tax advisor and authorities will be as seamless as possible. So yes, AI will support this and it plays a big role, but in the end, there will still be humans and people being responsible for this.
Yeah, no, I like that. People are driving the change. We'll be there still.
Yes.
I think lots of learnings from me and for everyone listening to this episode. Huge thank you for joining and sharing your story and your views on Germany and the company as well. And if you would like to hear more episodes like this, we are going to be back with another episode focusing again on entrepreneurship, leadership, and what it's like running a company in Visma. Thank you so much, Maxin, for joining us this time. We'd love to have you back soon.
Thank you.